City Council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano.
Here.
Alderman Jacob. Here. Alderman Messina.
Here.
Alderman Sorrentino.
Here.
Alderman Sizmarsky. Here. Alderman E. Wesley. Here. Alderman R. Wesley.
Here.
Alderman Woods.
Here.
Mayor Police.
Here, I declare a quorum present. Please stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance, and the officer, De Carlo, could lead them. Sorry.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
First, I need a motion to approve the City Council minutes of November 5th, 2015.
Second.
Okay. Alderman Wesley and Alderman Sismarski, first and second. Any questions, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Do any citizens wish to be heard on matters not listed on the agenda? Okay, I have no written communiques. We will start with Mayor's report. First of all, I'd like to invite up the family of former Mayor Jerry Greer. If you guys could please come up. I should say you ladies. Okay. I'd like to read this resolution honoring Jerry Greer, Wooddale Mayor, from 1975 to 1995 with the honorary Jerry Greer Way. Whereas the City of Wooddale is a body, politic, and corporate organized and existing pursuant to Municipal Code 65 ILCS 51-1-1. Whereas the City of Wooddale wishes to recognize the service of the recently deceased Mayor Jerry Greer, and whereas Jerry Greer was a longtime resident of the City of Wooddale, and whereas Mayor Greer worked as a high school teacher and construction contractor after attending Northwestern University, following his service in the United States Marine Corps, and whereas Jerry Greer served as the mayor of the City of Wooddale for 20 years from 1975 to 1995, and whereas Jerry Greer was the longest-serving mayor in the City of Wooddale, and whereas during his service as mayor of the City of Wooddale, Mayor Greer ushered in the development of the largest industrial corridor in DuPage County, and whereas Mayor Greer was responsible for the construction of the City Hall building, and whereas under Mayor Greer's leadership, the city constructed a new public works building and the state-of-the-art wastewater treatment plant. Whereas Mayor Greer spearheaded the construction of infrastructure improvements throughout the city to address the flooding resulting from Salt Creek storm events, and whereas within the confines of the tax dollars available, Mayor Greer was a good steward of the city's finances, avoiding the city from incurring unnecessary debt. And whereas Mayor Greer was known for his no-nonsense style, his larger-than-life stature, and always having a smile on his face. Whereas Mayor Greer will be remembered for his deep devotion to his family and his love for the City of Wooddale and its residents. Whereas the city wishes to recognize the accomplishments and achievements under Mayor Greer's leadership, which will have a long-lasting impact on the landscape of the city for generations to come, with the designation of Honorary Jerry Greer Way on Cedar Street between Commercial Street and Stoneham Street in the City of Wooddale. Now therefore be it resolved by the City of Wooddale DuPage County and Illinois Okay, excuse me. The recitals set forth above are incorporated herein and made a part of hereof. The city of Wooddale honors its longest-serving mayor, Jerry Greer, for his legacy in the city of Wooddale. The city of Wooddale expresses their collective gratitude for the 20 years of devoted service by Mayor Greer on behalf of his city. I, on the Jetta Police, on behalf, and the aldermen of the city of Wooddale, past and present, current and former staff members of the city, and the residents of Wooddale who have benefited from Mayor Greer's leadership, recognize Mayor Greer's dedication, service, and offers Mayor Greer's family appreciation and gratitude for allowing Mayor Greer to enrich the lives of past, present, and future residents of the city of Wooddale, and hereby dedicate Cedar Street between Commercial Street and Stoneham Street as the honorary Jerry Greer Way. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that,
Second.
as a Marine, I make that motion.
And a second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And I'd just like to make a quick presentation before I ask one of the family members to speak. Who wants to?
No. We'll do it.
Yeah, we got the lift truck in the lot.
Presentation for it.
Well, don't worry, staff is gonna hang them up, we're just so they can hold them right now, but who would, somebody like to speak, say a few words on behalf?
Hi, I'm Debbie Greer. I am Greer Plone. I'm married now. I'm Jerry's oldest daughter. And on behalf of my entire family, we want to thank you for this honor. A proposal for this came up years ago, and my dad wasn't interested. That wasn't why he did what he did, to have his name put on anything or to be remembered in that way. He did what he did for this city because he loved this city. He wanted this city to be a great place for the three of us to grow up in. Both of my sisters still live here, the grandchildren still live here, and for all the people that he served. He loved the city of Wooddale, and the Water Street plant is still his favorite place. We'd go there on Saturday mornings, like every Saturday morning. I'm like, really, Dad? I've seen it. Thank you. But he was proud of what he did, and it was those kinds of things. It wasn't the glitz, the glamour. It was the things that were going to make an impact on this community for years to come that were what mattered to him. He didn't want to be remembered for being the mayor. He wanted to be remembered for who he was and why he did the things he did. And he did them because he loved the city. So as a family, we thank you so much, because for us, that helps us to remember that the sacrifices we made as a family, sharing Dad with the city that he loved, have been acknowledged. So we're ever so thankful, humbled, and honored. Thank you so much.
Thank you. No? Did we take a picture? Somebody take a picture?
Mayor,
Yes?
Sure, I'd like to. You know I love it. You guys want to squeeze together a little bit for me? I just think a little one there.
Alderman Sismarski, you'd like to say
Mayor,
something?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we do a professional unveiling after they're hung to cover them, and then have the family present while we pull the blanket off under.
Sure, we could do that. Not a problem. And I was just told, this is for you guys. I don't think we need a motion for that.
All right.
We're good with to go with that.
Just make sure.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing and your patience. Thanks for sharing and your patience.
Okay, next. Officer Bob DiCarlo, if you could. Sergeant Bob DiCarlo, I'm sorry. I keep demoting you, Bob, I'm sorry.
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Mayor, one moment. We have
Yes.
some residents out in the hallway that we can take these chairs and move them out there.
Pardon me?
Eileen's gonna tell us.
We have some residents out there, maybe the
Oh,
residents come in.
yes.
I mean, I don't want anyone to be
Yeah.
outside there.
Anybody's, we're not at capacity. Step in. Step inside, please.
We have a seat for you.
You guys can sit right at the table over here. They don't want to move. They're camera
Well, you
shy.
could, we have the police.
They're a
here.
little camera shy, looks like. Next, we have a resolution expressing appreciation for services extended by Sergeant Robert Del Carlo to the city of Wooddale. Whereas Bob Del Carlo has devoted his experience, knowledge, and dedication to serving the city of Wooddale from December 31st, 1980 to November 28th, 2015. So you're not done yet. And whereas Bob Del Carlo began his service to the city of Wooddale as a patrol officer and went on to become a detective, Wooddale's first K-9 officer, and then a sergeant, and served the community steadfastly in that capacity until his retirement. And whereas, as a police officer, the Wooddale Police Department, Bob Del Carlo has a significant role in the strengthening of the city of Wooddale with his commitment and expertise. And whereas Bob Del Carlo has exemplified the role of police officer by having performed his duties consistently during his career with the city of Wooddale, and whereas the quality of life for citizens of the city of Wooddale has been greatly enhanced by the knowledge, experience, and contributions of Bob Del Carlo. I'm getting choked up. And whereas the city of Wooddale is deeply indebted to Bob Del Carlo for his distinguished service to the city for almost 35 years, and whereas the manager, mayor, and the city council in the city of Wooddale desire to express to Bob Del Carlo their gratitude for his dedicated service to the city. Now therefore be it resolved by the city council of the city of Wooddale. Do I have a motion?
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, that this resolution by the mayor and city council, city of Wooddale, expressed to Bob Del Carlo and his family for their gratitude for his commitment, devotion, knowledge, expertise, and constructive service to the city manager, mayor, and the city council of the city of Wooddale. And I just want to say thank you very much for all your service. He's getting a little choked up. He's making me, he's getting me choked up. Now, before we ask Sergeant Del Carlo, I'd like to call Chief Vesta first. He's going to call Chief Vesta.
He'll be next. Something I met Bob 20 years ago, my first night here when I was about to get sworn in. And funny thing is, someone had locked up all the offices on the city side, and there were my documents to be sworn in as a new officer. And rather than let that go, Bob probably dug a tunnel, built some contraption, and found a way to get into the offices and get a hold of that paperwork. But from that night on, I knew Bob was someone that gets things done. And that was my first impression of him. And he's done nothing but that from 35 years ago until now, is get things done. He's got a lot of passion. He cares deeply for this community. He started our first K-9 unit. He started our first honor guard. He's raised thousands upon thousands of dollars for Special Olympics in town. The Thanksgiving Adopt a Family program, he's been so involved in that with driving the big bread truck, Bob's bread truck around town, delivering meals to families who so well deserved it. And he's a passionate guy. He cares very much for his job. Even today, he's making suggestions for the department 2, 3 weeks, 2, 3, 4 years down the road. He hasn't let go any of that passion, even though he's close to the end of his working days here. But Bob, it's been an absolute honor to serve with you. The number of people that showed up earlier tonight, just as many as are here now. There's another group here to honor you for your service. We thank you. We're going to miss you. You're always welcome here. And I think we got to get you a permanent fob so you can get in. But anyways, we're going to miss you, and we're going to miss your passion. And I know you'll find something to keep you busy in retirement. And anyways, thank you for your service. I appreciate it. Before we have a small gift to give to Bob, but I'd like to invite up retired Chief Benowitz to say a couple words. They worked so closely together for so many years, and I think it's appropriate that he has a couple comments today. So, Chief Benowitz.
Thank you, Chief Vesta. Bob's going out and Greg's the sitting chief, and when Bob first came in, I was a patrolman with him and later to become a police chief, and have some great stories. Most of them I can't tell in public. But when Bob started in 1980 into 1981, we were both in uniform, and I was a patrol officer like he. We worked different shifts. We really didn't interface a lot because we were kind of running on different shifts. But later on, we became detectives together, and he was a partner of mine. But prior to that, I first had my exposure, and what I'd like to kind of share with everybody on Bob's benevolency. When you work midnight shift, there's a little dead time, and you always listen to the radio, and I don't know if everybody remembers Eddie Schwartz. He used to have his food drive every Christmas. Well, that's how the Wooddale food drive started here, and it was Bob Del Carlo. And it started out with a company that no longer is here, Michael Lewis and Shelley Rosen. And I remember Bob vividly going up there and putting the arm on him. He came away with a semi-trailer of food. We raised some other food as a police department, and I believe that one evening, that one Christmas, I think it was in the mid-'80s, we went downtown with 2 semi-trailers of food for what was then the Chicago Food Bank, which is now the Northern Illinois Food Bank. And that's an example of the type of person that we have on our police department here. And it's a tribute to Bob and the way that, you're supposed to cry, not me. But he's going to be missed. And he's one of the good guys, and in policing these days, we need some good stories, and he's the guy that's up front giving it. So, once again, thank you for helping me in my career. I wish you well in retirement. Maybe we can spend a little bit more time together. And more importantly, though, they're losing a very good police officer, but Kathy and the family is getting their dad back. Thanks, Bob, for your service.
And we have a small token here. Robert Del Carlo, I can't even talk anymore, you got me. Robert Del Carlo, in recognition of 35 years outstanding service as an employee, City of Wooddale, December 1980, 2015.
Lori spelled it right. Look at this, you guys can spell it right.
We've got one other gift for Bob that he didn't think was coming tonight because he thought he was doing it behind everyone's back, but we have ways of finding things out. So if you know Bob, you know he's probably got the first screw that he pulled out of a wall somewhere that he might need to use it later. But he was also, right? Yeah. He was also very good about keeping track of his past and his past on the department and where he came from and his insignia and his patches and his badges as he moved through the ranks. So Lori Hagerton in town helped us out by putting together a nice shadow box of all of his, kind of reconciling his past with the department. So Bob, I know you'll put this somewhere proudly, and you've done a lot in your career, and this is just a small part of it, so congratulations.
Sure, you want to take a break? How many pages is it?
I will read this slowly, and hopefully I'll get through it, because I'm just going to read it, okay? It says, first of all, a day without sunshine is, well, it's night. So I wish you all for coming. All right? Start with a joke, we'll end with a joke, okay? When I started with the Wooddale Police Department 35 years ago, Irving Park Road was 2 lanes. You ran Irving Park Road to the stoplight at Wooddale Road. When you turned north, and you went north on Wooddale Road, the first thing you hit was a stop sign. That was at Thorndale. Right after you passed the Moody Airport. The shopping center where the Target and the Jewel are, come on. It was a barn with a fruit stand sitting out in front of it, where we all stopped during the summer and picked up fresh fruit to eat in the squad cars, which, by the way, had crank-down windows. And Frank, you'll remember we got FM converters because on midnights there was nothing to listen to at all. FM died, or AM died. And then on my first night, when I drove around with my training officer, John Duffy, he pointed out to the land south of Thorndale, that big area down there, and he said, hey, that's the new Elgin O'Hare Expressway, and they're going to break ground on it in the spring. I guess he was right, because you know what? It seems like it was yesterday. I'm proud, see now I need the thing, to have worked alongside some great people here. Those people have become a family. Learning from them what this career really is. And what it really is all about. It's not the Chicago blues. It's not Hill Street blues. And it's not NYPD blue. It's more like Barney Miller.
Okay, now don't get me wrong. We did the work. But we did it without forgetting that personal touch and by remembering to laugh at the situations and ourselves. Well, if you want to know about those stories, a lot of people have asked me tonight, so you'll just have to buy the book. It'll take a while for me to get the clearances from everybody I'm going to put in it, though. I am also proud to have met and be able to say that I've become true friends with so many people in this city. I say this to you, my friends, my family, who over the past 35 years, and some of you a whole lot more, you have overlooked my shortcomings. You have seen me through some dark days, but you have brightened up the rest of them. And for this, I thank you. And now, to end this, I need to end this before I melt here, okay? So in the words of Dr. Sidney Friedman of 4077 MASH fame, ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with this advice. Just pull down your pants and slide on the ice. Good night and goodbye. Good? How well?
Hey, Mayor, can we say a few words? Sure, enjoy it.
Wait, hold on one second. Bob, before you leave,
Some of them like to give some comments.
no problem.
Bob, I known you for several years when I was on the fire department. I remember taking patients to the hospital when you worked there and says, Eugene, you brought me another guy. I said, well, we want to keep you busy. Bob, I have known you for so many years, being familiar with the fire department, that you have dedicated your time 110% to this city. And I am greatly in debt to you for doing that, and you will truly be missed. Well, you're more than happy to come back and help us with anything. But I'm sure your wife's got a honey-do list for you when you're retired that's been put up. Okay, so again, thank you from the bottom of my heart and the citizens of Wooddale. Thank you.
To DeCarlo, the streets of Wooddale were safe, but now I know they are safer with the knowledge you've passed on to all the other younger police officers, so thank you. Thank you for your
You do not
service.
have anything to worry about. I'm leaving it in very good hands.
As many years as you served, I wish we could have more time with you, but that's not possible. But on behalf of the citizens, we thank you for all the time that you gave us, the volunteer time and everything like that. Thank you. I was just
Don't yell at him no more.
I will say he, talk about dedication, nobody called it.
Whoops, hope that mic's off. This is Ed. Close that mic.
I don't know.
Those are signing checks in the back.
Hey, Case, how are you? We got enough. Carry on without him.
I know. Well, I'm gonna take him. He has a lot of work at my house to do. Dad will work though, okay? I have a honey-do list if she doesn't. Yeah, she has a honey-do, honey-get together.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting back to session. Next up, we have the Fenton Dance Force donation request. The letter is in your packet from Miss Catherine Payton, who has the privilege of coaching Fenton's championship dance team over the past 7 years.
I'll make a motion to approve $500.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, $500. No, $500.
I thought he did too.
Well, you second it.
No, it's $500. We have a motion and a second.
Mike.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano?
Yes.
Alderman Jacob?
Yes.
Alderman Messina?
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino?
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Woods?
Yes.
And that passes. And I'd just like to wish all the residents a happy Thanksgiving next week.
Oh, you too.
Mr. Murmas.
Right back at you.
Manager.
On behalf of the city.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a
On
couple,
behalf of the city.
couple of items.
And I haven't been drinking.
I was gonna tell Bob, we've come full circle because we are actually one lane in each direction nowadays on Irving Park Road with the construction going on. So for those residents who would like some updates on that project, you can go to wooddale.com/construction. It will be one lane in each direction for a while on Wooddale Road, and construction's ongoing. We are on schedule, but if you want updates, you can sign up for e-blasts on the website. Second item, just a reminder, City Hall is closed next Friday, November 27th. Two other items I have, at the SOC meeting earlier this week, and speaking with Elk Grove, who's kind of heading up the Bussey Woods Dam project. It was originally supposed to be done right around Thanksgiving. It's running about 2 to 3 weeks behind schedule, but that's still pretty good. That'll be a big benefit for us with the Wooddale Itasca Reservoir as well, because county has a plan to lower the threshold to open up those gates at our reservoir, so it's all kind of hinging on that project completing. So that'll be good. It's only 2 to 3 weeks behind. The last item, don't forget the Wooddale tree lighting ceremony is Saturday. December 5th at 2:30 to 5 p.m. A lot of fun activities for the family. Santa will be here, and I believe there's some fireworks too, so it'll be a fun event. He will be here. Have you been good this year?
Pat's getting
He's
cold.
going to check his list. That's it. The intersection of Wooddale, and the question was why the intersection was abnormally backed up today, more than usual. We had a problem with the signals out there. Everything out there right now is temporary lighting, temporary signals. So I believe one of the signals may have got obstructed by the wind or fell over. So
It's back up.
it's back up now. Yeah. That concludes my report.
All right, before I continue, we have a resident that was stuck out in the hallway and would like to make a comment. If you could- If you could state your name.
Is the mic on?
It's too tall for him.
I'd like to ask Casey Passione, business owner in Wooddale. I would like to ask a couple of questions regarding this construction on Irving and Wooddale Road. I heard a little rumor that it's going to take so long. Now, I remember when they were building the new tracks, they sent flyers. People came around and told us it's going to take this long, the water is going to shut off, this, whatever. Now, all of a sudden, with this particular construction, there is nobody went around and say how long it's going to take, what they're doing, or all this information that the public, at least the business owners of Woodell Road, should know. Now, I'm asking, what is the construction time that it's going to take? I heard up to next year or behind that. I hope you guys don't hire the same guy that did Rowling Road 4 years.
No. All right, Mr. Murmas will answer that.
Yes, I could actually have a representative from the engineering company come out and meet with you one-on-one. They were going door to door with all the business owners, so I guess they missed you. I can set that up for you, but the project in total will be finished in the fall of 2016. So it will take some time. But it is on schedule, and it's been going on for a few months now, so.
Well, okay, then he's going to have the information if somebody stops in to say, what it's going to take, and because I see many people in daytime, many people, and they ask me the same question: how long? What's going on? What they're doing, and what? They don't know much about it. So it'll be better if they are informed to what is going on in the length of the construction and whatever the information is. So it would be appreciated if somebody would, come up and state.
Go ahead, Mr. Murmas.
Yeah, there's also a brochure that was passed out. We can get you a copy of the brochure, and I can make sure that the company in charge kind of maybe goes out and does a little refresher now that there's more significant construction going on.
Well, thank you.
All right. Alderman Sismarski, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. City Manager, I know I asked this in a prior meeting, if we could get a artist rendition of a billboard put at the corners of those intersections to
Go ahead, Mr. Murmas.
show what it would look like.
I definitely remember that. Mr. Cage has been working on that. I think he has a draft format, but that should be up relatively soon, so we were already doing that.
All right, thank you.
Alderman Wesley.
The engineer firm that's supposed to be going to these businesses are, I believe, H.R. Green.
Correct.
I'm not too pleased on how things been going on over there. I've been hearing complaints from other businesses that they're not being informed. And I think they could do a lot better job. Maybe weekly, bi-weekly, to go into the businesses or something? I mean, how many businesses are we talking over there? Maybe a dozen?
Mr. Murphy.
Well, I can talk to their PR person that is in charge of working with the city and in charge of working with the businesses and make a more concentrated effort on getting some timelier updates, having the businesses sign up for the blast, making sure they know what's going on. Maybe doing another round of door hangers with the brochures with some updated info.
Okay.
Make that a priority.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Do
when
you
it
have a
hits,
follow-up? Go ahead, Mr. Pasio.
when it hits about 4:30, it's like being one lane. The cars is just unbelievable. You gotta wait. You can't get in if it is, somebody's trying to get back to on the south of on Woodell Road there. You can't get in. I mean, it's not a good situation for businesses, and let's hope that it doesn't last as long as I heard. So, thank you for.
Thank you. You guys want to open up the door again? All right, if no objections, I need a motion
I'll make the motion.
for the consent agenda.
Yes.
Do we have an objection? Do you have an objection?
No, I'll let this one go this time.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Alderman Woods, Alderman Jacob. Made the motion. Alderman Jacob, second. Roll call.
Alderman Catalano?
Yes.
Alderman Jacob?
Yes.
Alderman Messina?
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino?
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley?
Yes?
Alderman Woods?
Yes.
That passes. Now, I'll entertain a motion to approve the items on the agenda. Item number 1, approval of partial payment request number 1 to A-Lamp Construction for the Hemlock Sidewalk Project in an amount not to exceed $112,671.10. Do I have a motion?
I'll make
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Sorry, let me read them all. Item number 2, consent agenda. Sorry, guys. Approval of partial payment request number 1 to Copenhagen Construction Incorporated for Elizabeth Court Pond Project not to exceed $114,867.15. Item number 3, approval of partial payment request number 23 to Williams Brothers Construction for the North Wastewater Treatment Plant Project not to exceed amount of $135,010.07. And item number 4, resolution seeking to approve a contract between the City of Wooddale and Clark Environmental Mosquito Management Incorporated for mosquito abatement for 2016 and not to exceed amount of $46,440. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay. We have Alderman Woods and Alderman Sismarski. Roll call.
Alderman Catalano?
Yes.
Alderman Jacob?
Yes.
Alderman Messina?
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino?
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Woods?
Yes.
And that passes. Committee Chairman reports, Planning and Zoning, Alderman Catalano.
I have one, Mayor. A resolution seeking to approve an agreement contract between the City of Wooddale and H.R. Green for professional service agreement rendered in not to exceed in the amount of $86,288.46. That is my motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. What, Tony made the motion, Gene was the second. Tony made the motion, Gene was the second. Questions, Alderman Messina?
Yeah, so this is regarding obviously the clock tower, right? I went back and forth with some questions I had. I just wanted the council to just kind of be aware of some numbers before we voted on this. So thus far, we approved 20 grand to pay out Euler last meeting, right? So we've paid them year to date without seeing anything, $43,000. We're gonna pay HR Green $86,000 if we approve this tonight to move forward with those plans, which I agree is critical in order to get this money. So I just wanna make it aware. Right now, we are in the hole $129,000 to get this project off the ground. Now, keep in mind, if this bid comes back, and it is way more than the $600,000 that we proposed, and we decide to strike this down, just keep in mind that we literally just gave up 130 grand. So in my opinion, I almost feel guilty not going forward with this because we're in the hole 130 grand, and if we don't move forward, we just gave up $130,000 of money that could have probably been used elsewhere. So I just wanted to throw out those figures for whatever it's worth. Hopefully you guys will consider that.
You got your hand? Alderman Roy Wesley, I'm sorry, I wasn't sure if you were.
Yeah, I want to add to that. So when we get these prices back, say it's $400,000 a clock tower, reality, you're going to add 132 to it. So it will be 530,000.
Correct.
I just want to make sure. I like to keep track of that too, so.
Okay. Alderman Messina, you had a follow-up? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we're paying to get money. I get it's gonna go if we don't use it, but we're paying to get money, and in my opinion, you know, like I said, I get it. I think we're setting ourselves up to say anything other than no, because we're already committing 130 grand, basically a third of the grant we're paying. So we're really only getting 2/3 of the grant money. I'm done.
Alderman Catalano?
And how much is the grant money?
490,000.
Thank you.
Correct. Alderman Eugene Wesley, go ahead.
The comment was made at spending, if we pull this project out and everything, down the line. Let's go back to the intersection. The intersection study, we sat up here, we dickered and we delayed that intersection study. That cost the city additional $2.5 million. Okay? We talked about water project on Irving Park Road. Until we move forward and trying out what it's going to cost and grant money is available, and if we have to pay our share, then we got to pay our share. We could pull the trigger. You know, there's talk about here. I hear sponsorships. There's people that might want to sponsor that clock tower once we get the figure. I don't know, but if something comes forward and if we delay going after any grant money for anything, you might well just take all our project or all our CIP project and say, we aren't doing anything at all. We just spent how much money up in that study for the flooding issue up in Tony's ward. Okay, so if that price tag comes in too high, we're going to say we aren't doing it? I mean, I just don't see where we're going with this.
We understand. We don't want to debate that. The point is made. We got it. We're spending $130,000. There's always a cost doing business. You have a follow-up? Go ahead.
I'd like to take a follow-up. I think, because there is more to it, right? I think that it doesn't end here, right? So in order to make that something viable, and I've had this conversation with multiple residents, they can't walk there. There's nowhere to walk there. So even if we put this thing up there, we're going to have to invest millions of dollars in sidewalks, which I think are critical anyhow. That's got to come. We still got to bury the power lines, which is more millions. We don't even have a coffee shop. There is no reason if we build this that anybody's going to come. Is it a great foundation to have in that focal point? Yes, it's something, but I just feel like we're putting something there just to have something, and we don't have the surrounding infrastructure or anything there to support it.
Okay. Roll call.
Alderman Catalano?
Yes.
Alderman Jacob?
Yes.
Alderman Messina?
Nope.
Alderman Sorrentino?
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky?
Without kicking the can down the road, yes, I'll pay for it.
Kicking the can.
Yeah, let's just, yes or no, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Alderman E. Wesley? Yes. Alderman R. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Woods?
Yes.
That passes. That concludes your report. Thank you. Public Health and Safety, Alderman Eugene Wesley.
No report, Mayor.
Public Works, Alderman Woods.
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Finance and Administration, Alderman Jacob.
No report, Mayor.
Under other business, airport noise, Alderman Jacob.
Would just like to thank everybody for coming out to the FAA meeting the other day. That's it for that.
And Stormwater Commissioner, also Alderman Jacob. Go ahead.
Unfortunately, our meeting was canceled, so I have no report.
Thank you. Approval of list of bills, November 19th. Alderman Jacob.
I make a motion to approve the list of bills for November 19th of 2015. $804,160.33. That is my
We
motion.
have a motion and a second. Any questions, Alderman Roy Wesley?
Elk Grove mechanic for HVAC, $294.50.
Who's that? Is that yours, Mr. York?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What was the question?
What is it?
That's
Go ahead, Mr. York.
that is the monthly charge that we pay Elk Grove Mechanical to maintain our HVAC system at the treatment plant.
You have a follow-up, Alderman Wesley?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do we not have a company in DuPage County that we could use?
Mr. York.
I'm sure there are. We got some quotes from some HVAC companies. This company came in about half the price of other companies that got our bids out. So,
How many quotes did you get?
Go ahead, Alderman.
well, we just got the two. We got the ProTech, the one that does this building here, and then we did Elk Grove Mechanical, who has done the Public Works building for a number of years.
You have a
And-
follow-up?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So you got two quotes. One from Cook County, one, where's the other company? Are they from Cook County too?
Mr. York.
I'm
do you
not
even
sure
know?
where ProTech is out of. Scooch, no.
I really would like you to try to keep the money in DuPage County. If you can't keep it there, fine, then it's a different story. I mean, the residents of this county, of this town, pays taxes to the city of Wooddale. So let's keep the money in the community if we can.
Okay.
I have one more.
You have one more? Okay, go ahead.
What is Golden Locks for $3,248?
Golden Locks?
Goldilocks?
Goldilocks?
Yeah,
Is that yours?
That's one of mine as
Go
well. During our recent fire department building inspection, we were notified that we did not have crash bars on our exterior doors. So we hired Goldilocks. Goldilocks, we got 3 companies, Goldilocks, DuPage Security, and M&M Locks that does our other locks. These people were considerably less, and they are a DuPage County company.
Did you have another one, or otherwise I'll go to Alderman Catalano?
Not on that, but I want to try to make it clear for any department heads, even in finance department, or directed to the city manager, whoever, that let's try to keep the money in the county if we can.
Noted. Alderman Catalano.
Yeah, I've got 2 questions here. On page 8, we got MDL Tree Service, the brush pickup in October, 6,500. And then we have another one on page 11, Republic, yard waste service pickup as well. Is that
Mr. York, I take it that's
Yes.
you as well.
The MDL one is the monthly brush pickup that we do, where the guys go around and pick up the bulk stuff. The Republic one it goes with the lawn, or the garbage contract. So that's just the garbage cans. So MDL is the one that we've gone out and you guys have done here for a number of years, that we go around 6 times a year and we pick up large amounts of brush, where the Republic one is your garbage cans, you got a bag of leaves, whatever. versus you cut down a bunch of bushes in your backyard.
Okay, so there's no consolidation to save money because it's...
No.
Two different types of service.
Okay, thank you.
You said you had 3 of them, that's 2. 2? Oh. Do you have your hand up, Alderman Wesley, or is that just, okay, go ahead.
Could I ask the staff a question on the list of bills?
We have questions on the bills, that's what we're
Alright.
talking about.
Just asking that. The question I have on the sweeping is, how long was that for? I mean, is
How-
that?
how long is the
I
contract
know.
for?
Was that for 1 month?
Mr. York, so, what is it, Hoving, correct?
That's for one sweep.
That's for one sweep.
That's for one sweep.
So how many sweeps, so it's $3,990 for each sweep?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, so have we got any feedback on the way the sweeping is going with this company? Because I will be totally honest with you. This is a 1-year contract. If it would come back tomorrow, I would say no. Because I am very unsatisfied with this company. Because all I'm hearing is from residents, they haven't seen them out there, they don't pick up all of it, you know, so I don't know if that's a problem with any other ward, but there's been a lot of feedback in my ward.
Are we talking about recently with the leaves?
Nope. Nope.
Just,
They aren't even putting water on, you know, normally when we do sweeping before, we use the brushes, we put water on the street. I don't even see that happening.
Mr. York.
So, I don't even know what
Go ahead,
program they use.
Mr. York.
This, honestly, besides a couple issues that we've had in Ward 1 with some side dead-end streets, this is the first time that I've gotten any comment regarding street sweepers called into Public Works or addressed to either myself or Mr. Rubach. So if you guys do have problems, you need to let us know so we can let the contractor know. But I haven't heard anything, and to be honest with you, I think that the streets would look a lot better throughout this year.
Alderman Jacob?
I would just say Ward 1, I would have to say the residents have been fairly happy. The one issue we did have, it was just a couple streets at a townhome subdivision, which they drove by and we had to call you about, so.
They came back.
And they did come back and
That
take care of
was-
it.
Mr. York, you want to answer that?
That was in
just-
Tall Oaks, and
Right.
and we do have GPS on the trucks. And if anybody would like to know if people were down their streets, we can get that information. Their ping rate is only every minute or every 65 seconds or something, but we did pull some of that information during some discussions with Ward 1, and we saw that all the streets were being done. So I guess the bigger question is that if you do hear something or are having concerns, please address that with either myself or Mr. Murmas immediately so that we can to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
All right. Any other questions on the bills? We have a motion and a second. Alderman Messina.
Yeah, so, on line item 100,
What's the,
the lights for the city hall.
Yes. Mhm.
is that yours also, Mr. York?
Yes, that's
Okay,
mine as
go ahead.
well.
Which is a positive thing, but I was hoping you could expand on it.
Go ahead, Mr. What's the question, just?
So, well, I had an initial question on the cost, right? So it's $3,800, but could you explain what the plan is with all these lights and why we're doing that, and why we're spending that?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. York.
Over the last 2 years, there has been a concerted effort to kind of bolster the Christmas light program in town. And it's kind of gone in 2 phases. One was to increase the amount of lights, but also in getting rid of the incandescent lights that we have and going to all LED lights. So the purchase of these lights, we hope that what you'll see come a week from Saturday during the Christmas tree lighting is that we've done a more concerted effort to put more lights on the trees. We're hamstrung a little bit by the types of trees that are out front here, but we have worked really hard to put more lights on the trees up front, on the roof here, and a lot of these lights that were in this actual lot were taken over to the treatment plant, and all of the little evergreens all the new trees that were planted as part of the project at the treatment plant all got lights this year. So you'll see some lights down there. So we've really made a concerted effort to try to beautify the way that the Christmas tree lights look throughout town. And now that we don't have the corner intersection here that we really did a lot of work on last year, some of those lights got separated and moved around to other places too, since we're not doing that corner by the Shorties this year because of the construction. But getting the ones over at the treatment plant was a big thing for us to do, and also retiring all those old incandescent lights because we don't have a lot of power at any of these locations, and I can string together 15, 20 strings of LED lights instead of 5 strings of incandescent lights.
Thanks for the switch to LED.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Alderman Catalano?
Yes.
Alderman Jacob?
Yes.
Alderman Messina?
Yes.
Alderman Sorrentino?
Yes.
Alderman Sizmarsky?
Yes.
Alderman E. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman R. Wesley?
Yes.
Alderman Woods?
Yes.
And that passes. We have no items to be referred, but we do need executive session. I need a motion to adjourn into executive
make the
session for
motion.
land acquisition and personnel issues. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned to exec session.